Not me almost dropping you. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. And something that I want to talk about today is a pep talk that I had to have with myself. I continue to have with myself, and that's something that I just want to share. That it's very important for other people to do this. Is I think one thing that you really need to do in life is whether it is you're trying to accomplish a goal, whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, you need to take advantage, please. Take advantage of the fact that nobody cares. And you may be like, that's harsh. Let me explain. There are people out there that care, yes, about you and what you're doing with your life, yes, in a good, positive way. There are also people out there that care about what you do in a negative way, monitoring spirits, wanting to see you fail, wanting to make sure that you never become anything in life because it makes them feel better about where they are in life. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the majority of people. We all have intricate, deep, complex, real lives going on every single day. I kind of like the definition of the word sonder. Everybody has an intricate life. Everybody, it makes me think about the people that you see at the grocery store. You walk past these people, and that person, that woman, that man, whoever they are, have an interesting life. You just happen to cross paths at the grocery store. You happen to cross paths at the gym, wherever it is that you're going. But what I'm trying to say is, I often used to catch myself doing this, and I used to tell myself, "Oh, I can't do that because what are other people going to think of me? I can't do that because I may offend someone. I can't do that because I'm not going to be good at it and then people are going to make fun of me. I'm afraid, I'm scared, this fear of rejection." And had to ask myself this question: are you afraid of following your dreams and your purpose and what you've been called to do because you don't want to be judged by others? Or do you wish that you had more stability, you were popular, you wish you had the better camera, you wish you had better reach, you wish you had more followers, like you were maybe more interesting, whatever it is? I have realized that, myself included, most of us are very insecure in a way, in some way or another, because we fear rejection from others. We think we're not smart enough, we think we're not pretty enough, handsome, beautiful, charismatic, have a great personality, wealthy, rich, funny, good enough. List can go on. And we assume that others see our flaws, see the things that we see in ourselves that we are so hard on ourselves about. And we judge them as we do ourselves, judge other people as hard as we judge ourselves. And I think it's just very important for when you're creating something new and you're starting out, whether whatever stage that you are at, you're starting, you're in the middle, you're already progressing to something. It's just very important for you to take advantage of the fact that nobody cares. I think you should reach out to that brand. I think you should release the music. I think you should post your content, post a video, talk on social media, put in your application, go back to school, work towards your dream goals, um, anything that you want to accomplish in life, work towards that dream goal that you put on the back burner and you let 10, 20 things take precedent before you did that goal. I think you should absolutely do the same. Because at the end of the day, if you do those things and nobody listens, if the brands don't want you, or you apply for the program and you get rejected or you don't get it, you put your application in, you don't get it, you release the music, you don't get 0 views, you go back to school, who knows, you work towards that dream. If the brands don't want you, if it just doesn't work out like how you wanted it to, what do you lose? I feel like every no, every rejection is just redirection. Every no leads to your yes. You have absolutely nothing to lose by simply trying and putting your foot forward. There is absolutely nothing that you can lose in this pursuit of trying, just trying. I think it's just very important to put aside your pride and to reach out, reach for whatever it is you want to accomplish in life. and just simply try, because you never know what could happen, especially when you're starting from zero. It's only, if you're starting from zero, it's only up from zero. And it's just important. I have realized this. I think whatever dream that you had when you were young, I encourage you to go chase after whatever dream that you have as young as possible, because, and it makes a lot of sense, the older that you get, the more aware you become, the more stuff is expected of you, the more trials that you have, the more problems that you have. You're aware of just life overall, the good and the bad and the ugly, and you become very hyper aware of the trade, of the cost of everything, of what is this going to cost me, the time, the potential, just every single thing. And I think it's just very important for you to go after your goals just as young as possible, before your brain starts thinking too much. Sometimes age, and I just encourage you to go after stuff as young as possible. And what I want to say is, a lot of times it's when you go after your goals, it's like this fear of embarrassment, this fear of rejection, it's this fear of looking crazy. um and all of it can be amplified the older that you get, because the more eyes are on you, the more is expected of you. Maybe you have a family, maybe who knows what you're doing with your life. You have a job, you feel as though you can't go after this goal. My job takes precedent. This goal that I had 20 years ago, I don't want to accomplish it because I'm going to look crazy. There's people watching me, there's people looking at me. I think it's just important to go after your goals, really, regardless of age. Just go after whatever that it is that makes you happy in life, gives you purpose. Because in reality, like I said, everybody's so busy with their own lives and doing their own thing and trying to make things work and just trying to be happy and survive, that it's like no one really knows who you are. Nobody really knows. Nobody who watches my videos really knows who I am. Mind you, I'm not going to go there. But strangers click on my videos. I don't know who these people are. People comment on my videos. I don't know who these people are. It can only get better from you just simply putting your foot out there and trying. It only just gets better. You get more views, you get more people commenting, you get more exposure, you get more comfortable doing it, putting your foot out there. The more that you do something, the more confidence you have in doing it. You're basically competing with zero. Just put yourself out there and try. And something else that I want to say is, like I said, we are so many, really all of us humans are so focused on our own lives. I think you should pursue your true interests without the paralyzing fear of judgment. Start that weird project, start that goal that you had 10, 20 years ago, that dream. And I think you should go towards it. Speak your mind more openly. Go back to school, apply for the application, do something. And it's almost like it's hard because there is this fear of rejection, there's a fear of embarrassment, there's a fear of humiliation, of failure, looking crazy and failing and quitting. And a lot of that is tied to, what are people going to say about me? And like I said, the more majority of people, most humans, if not all, we're all worried about what we need to accomplish in life. Most people are not even going to look at your setbacks and your flaws and your mistakes. They will quickly forget about them, and it almost like it lowers the stakes and the of just simply trying new things. I feel like it's hard to do because I even had to do it myself and it wasn't easy. But being aware of this is, you have to stop or wasting time wondering what other people are going to say about you, or what other people are going to say about you, whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, that dream you want to go towards. Like I said, most people are the center of their own world. We all have stuff going on. You think somebody's worried about you, they really not. They worried about all the other stuff they need to get done in their lives. And they are not most people are not obsessing over your flaws and mistakes that you make. It's just, you have to take advantage of the fact that nobody cares. Not in saying that that is a terrible thing, but which, I mean, it kind of sounds harsh, but take advantage of the fact that because everybody is so busy with their lives, why not put yourself out there? Why not try something new? Why not develop yourself? Why not just put yourself out there? Why not? Why not do it? And what was I going to say? You don't necessarily need an audience to try something new and put yourself out there. And without an audience to impress, without the mass amounts of followers, you know how people get have 50,000 followers and then they're nervous and scared to try something new because these people, 50,000 people, are so used to them doing this one thing. Be happy that you're starting at zero. And I had to realize that I'm happy that I started at zero because without an audience to impress, without people watching me, without getting low amounts of views at the beginning, I realized that I wanted to focus on the quality of what I was saying. I wanted to focus on being realistic. I wanted to focus on being authentic, real, true, having personality, being who I am, even off camera, but having her come out on camera, putting more quality into my work, the things that I want to say, my personal happiness, things that give me purpose. And it's almost like you have to, and it's going to be hard, but it's almost like you have to trick your brain, or you have to really think hard not to think hard about what other people are saying. You have to be comfortable with this idea that nobody, quote unquote, cares. Because in reality, it's almost like the more that you don't really care about what other people think about you, you're not putting on this performance, you're not people pleasing, you become very authentic, you become very real, and it makes you more attractive to people because maybe that you're at a place in life they wish they could be, or you help them aspire to something that they want to accomplish. You just become a source of light in a very realistic and a very real and truthful and authentic way that it makes people feel good about themselves, and even will give them permission to be authentic and be real and be truthful about themselves. And confidence is just a magnet for to genuine people. It's a magnet to those people who want to hear what you have to say, to those strangers that maybe click on your video, or they find you somehow and realize, I really like what this person is saying, what she's saying, what he's saying, what they are saying, because it speaks to me, makes myself feel seen, makes me feel heard, makes me feel loved. And that's what excuse me. That is what people just want in life. They want to feel seen, loved, and heard. And sometimes putting yourself out there, regardless of how people think, or taking advantage of the fact that nobody cares, you open up the door for someone else to do the same with whatever they want to accomplish in life. And the biggest takeaway of this is most people do not care about your success. They don't care about the money. They don't care about the clothes. They don't care about the car. They don't care about the job. When you realize that, it frees you so much. It gives you just so much freedom and so much more authenticity just to be real, to be a real human being. And you begin to think more about the risks you want to take and the things that you want to accomplish, and putting yourself out there, walking past that wall, walking past that threshold that's holding you back, and realizing when you do it, man, I should have done this 2 3 years ago. I should have done this 10 years ago. I should have done this 5 years ago, because it's a freedom that you feel when you just stop worrying about what other people are saying and you take advantage of the fact that nobody cares. It's just a freedom that the joy and the happiness and the freedom that comes from that it just feels absolutely amazing. And then you just realize this too. Life is just too short to be worrying about what people are thinking. You hear me? You could be here today and gone tomorrow. Back to that video I made a few maybe weeks ago, a few times videos ago. You don't start living till you start dying. I don't want to wait till I start dying to start living my life. I don't want to wait for something traumatic to happen, is when I put my foot down or I walk past my threshold and I do all the things that I've been wanting to do on my to-do list of life. I think you should just really take advantage of the fact that nobody cares. Take advantage of the fact that everybody's busy with their own lives. Okay, I don't have a lot of eyes watching me. Okay, let me hone in on what I want to accomplish in life. Let me start that business. Let me apply. Let me put in my application. Let me reach out to the brand. Let me post the content. Who knows? And once again, there's something else I had to keep in mind, which I said earlier. When you take advantage of the fact that nobody cares, you're starting from zero. If you get 0 views, you should be happy. That's great. Because then you can build from up there. You can build to 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. From zero, it's only up. And it's just a mentality, something that I had to develop and I continue to develop and work on because, yeah, you're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have some moments where you're going to be like, no, I don't want to post that, or I'm scared, or what are they going to say? But life is just too short to be worried about what everybody thinks because you can't please every single person. And holding yourself back, there's someone out there who may need to hear what you have to say, who may need to hear the content that you're going to post, or putting yourself out there may allow them to do the same, may give someone the ability for them to do the same, make them speak their voice, or may make them want to feel seen, heard, loved, and allows them to take that step just like you did. So I just find it important to just take advantage of the fact that nobody cares. Take advantage of the fact that you may be getting 0 views because it's only up from there. It's just a mentality that you got to keep in here. Like I said, you can have setbacks, but remind yourself it's only up. There's only up from zero. It gets better after zero. But that's just something that I wanted to talk about today. I hope everyone has a fantastic day today. Um, yeah, I've been talking a lot. Yeah, I forgot the word for it, but I hope everyone has a fantastic day today. I will see you guys next time.